What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916 tuned into another edition of my vlog. I want to say thank you for subscribing. Thanks for supporting. I'm all about that positivity and that motivation. And a lot of you out there could have been lawyers, but you chose to be gangsters because the gangster lifestyle seems so enticing. You watch these guys in videos with pistols, women, money, and you thought, man, if I could have all those things, I'd be on top of the world. Life would be a breeze. All I have to do is smoke weed every day, run a trap house, get my paper, and bump bad females every day. But there's a lot of things they don't tell you about that video that was 3 to 4 minutes or 2.5 minutes. That's a fantasy, man. See, it's a fantasy to think you're gonna run a trap house for any significant amount of time that's gonna allow you to actually retire from that game. It's a fantasy to think that you're gonna be able to run that trap house and not have to look over your shoulder to worry about who's gonna rob you, who's gonna steal from you, who's gonna tell on you, or when you're gonna get raided. There's a lot of other factors in there that the video doesn't disclose. Penitentiary, not being there for your kids if you get caught up, the implications of how it affects your family, all kind of things. See, I've said it and I say it again that a lot of those videos are just advertisements for prison. Prison promotion. Endorsing being a dumbass. There is no great benefits for short-term rewards, because anything that you hold on to is going to take you a while to build, and that's just how it's set up in the universe. You can't get a degree overnight. You're not going to learn how to do a trade in one day. It takes time, man. It's building a skill set, and it's being consistent. Somebody asked me, what does it take to be successful? And somebody said confidence, and the other person said discipline. And it takes a combination of both, but being consistent, being dedicated, and believing in the end goal is the key. Because if you can't see yourself winning at the end of the day, then you're going to constantly try to take shortcuts, but those shortcuts lead to nowhere. Those shortcuts, if you could see, in a crystal ball, what road they would take you down, you'd probably think twice about making them. A lot of times we do things because of our exposure and the fact that we haven't had access to certain things, so we limit ourselves. If you've never had a family member that's ran a business or corporation, or had a doctor in the family, or talked to somebody who's a dentist, an accountant, lawyer, then those things seem far-fetched. It seems like a fantasy. Somebody who ran a hedge fund or tech company or computer programmer or real estate. If you're not around that, you're not really open to even entertaining those type of genres as far as making money. If all you see is somebody going to work and maybe doing a warehouse job, or something where they're hustling or whatever the case may be, that's your reflection of what you think that life can be. So being exposed to different opportunities at a young age is so important in creating your future. And I'm guilty of it too, you know. I could have been a lawyer instead of a gangster. I didn't realize when I got to prison that I had a knack for the law, and that it was something that I was interested in that helped me get through my time. You know, studying the law, shepherdizing cases, looking up words in Black's Law Dictionary, putting together briefs, helping people file motions in court. You know, all that stuff to me was very interesting. And, you know, I learned just through, you know, applying myself and talking to other people. But what about if I would have did that before I went to prison? What if I would have took a pre-law class, you know, and actually pursued that on the street? How different would my life have been? Nobody ever talked to me about becoming a lawyer or an attorney. I'd never, in my wildest dreams, you know, even thought about those fields as careers. But it could have been a nice option. So for all you out there who are, you know, doing things, you know, in the short term, compromising yourself, you know, carrying pistols and thinking it's cool to, you know, act out this particular lifestyle, think about if you applied yourself to some opportunities that you never thought about. Say, you know, you looked into being a veterinarian or a doctor, a lawyer, an architect. A lot of you guys have the potential, but sometimes it's too late before you realize it. Take the time to, you know, investigate some of these opportunities now, and ask your family members or friends if, you know, they know somebody that's in any of these different, you know, genres that you can go and do a work day with them and see what it's like and experience some of these things, especially a lot of you young people out there. And it could be a game changer, man. It can be a game changer, because when you add up how many years, if you get caught up on something stupid, and you add up how many years if you would have spent that actually pursuing your education and working in that field, you will see that it's actually worthwhile to sacrifice right now for the future. So I just try to think back to things I could have done differently, man, had I had somebody really pushing, because, you know, I thought of ideas, but nobody really cultivated them in me. So hopefully somebody can cultivate them in you, and you guys can take advantage of it, because I missed out, and now I'm doing these videos to try to share what I feel I missed out on, and maybe give some advice to a younger version of Little Herc. So stay laced up. Big Herc 916.